Hi, I'm Glenn Van Imwegen. I'm the Community Development Director for the City of Littleton. And community development is responsible for all aspects of the future, the present, and the continuing maintenance of the community in several different aspects. We do long-range planning, so we help the community devise a long-range vision and plan for the City of Littleton. We have current planning, and they're responsible for the rezoning actions or the implementation of that vision. We have building safety department, so once you have a property that's been zoned, you come in and you have to build it, you have to meet standards as far as building safety. Code compliance is responsible for making sure the maintenance of our neighborhoods stay at a high level and retain that property values that are there. And we've recently added economic development to ensure the economic health of the community as well. Historic preservation, we have resources that really identify what the community is, from going back to the early roots of Littleton. Historic preservation identifies those properties that are important to the history of the community, and we have certain standards to make sure that they retain the character that they were originally designed with. I was educated at Arizona State University. I have an undergraduate degree in urban planning. About 4 years or 6 years later, I went back and received a master's in public administration from Arizona State University as well. My career began in municipal government with the town of Gilbert. It was kind of a small farming community on the outskirts of Phoenix, but they had very rapid growth. They doubled in population every 5 years. I stayed there for a total of 14 years. After I received my master's in public administration, I moved on. I wanted to be a director, so I moved out a little further east to a small community called Apache Junction. The unique thing about Apache Junction was it really was a mecca for snowbirds. So the population would change from 5,000 people to 60,000 people come wintertime. I arrived in the City of Littleton in May of 2011, and it's always been a goal of my family to ultimately reside in the state of Colorado. My wife is from Colorado. She's a native of Salida, Colorado. I was working as Community Development Director for the City of Peoria, and opportunity was right to make the move at this point. So I was really looking at 4 different aspects of a community that I really wanted to be a part of. One was great neighborhoods, and City of Littleton certainly has those. One thing I'm not used to is shade and trees and green. Those are colors and objects that I'm not used to growing up in the desert, and so certainly Littleton has all those things. Transportation, the Denver area and Littleton's a big part of that, of being part of a mass transit system. So that was something very important. And just open space. All 4 of those things are right here, and so this was a great fit for me. I met my wife back in 1985. We've got 2 kids, a daughter and a son. My daughter goes to Arizona State University, and she is 22, and my son, Nathaniel, goes to school right here at Arapahoe Community College, and he's just turned 20. I'm a big outdoorsman person. I like to hunt, I like to fish quite a bit. I love 4-wheeling. Yeah, I'm basically cheap. So I have an old Land Cruiser. I've always been a fan of Land Cruisers. I've had a couple of them in my past. Right now I have a 1990, it's called an FJ62, so it was the last body style before they became more of an SUV. And I've been working on that and building that to really perfect it for off-roading and 4-wheel driving.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Crawford. I'm the City Attorney for the City of Littleton. I serve at the pleasure of the City Council and provide legal advice to the City Council, the City Manager, Department Directors, and our boards and commissions. The City Attorney's Office provides legal advice on a day-to-day basis to our administrative departments. We advise the City Council on various matters, provide legal memorandum, draft legislation. We also hire and manage outside counsel, whether it be for specific matters or for litigation purposes. There's a common misperception that we provide legal advice to the general public. Unfortunately, we are hired specifically by charter to provide legal advice to the City Council. I grew up in Heartland, Wisconsin. My father was a journalist for the Chicago Tribune for many, many years, where he covered the court system. One of the highlights of my childhood was when he would bring me to some very high-profile cases where I would sit in the courtroom. One of them, I recall, was a copyright case with Michael Jackson. My father won the Pulitzer Prize for Local Investigations in 1973 for a 4-part series on Medicaid fraud. 2 hospitals involved were subsequently closed by the city of Chicago. My grandfather was an attorney general for the state of Illinois who prosecuted and convicted Al Capone. I received my Bachelor of Arts degree from DePauw University in Greencastle, Indiana, and my law degree from the University of Denver, Colorado. I studied abroad for a year when I was in college at a university in Japan, Kansai Gaidai University. It was a great experience where I lived with a family and learned Japanese and studied the culture. I've been married for 10 years to Robert Brudenell. I have 2 kids, Nora Joan Brudenell and Brant Brudenell. Nora is 4 years old and Brant is 7. My family and I enjoy the outdoors. We ski in the winter, we camp in the summer. My kids love to bike, and my husband and I are on a biking team where we do road cycling, mountain biking, and cyclocross biking. I'm a very competitive person, and I think it stems from competing in horses when I was a child. I rode horses from the time I was 3 years old until I graduated from college and competed all summer long. We spent most of our summers traveling from horse show to horse show. I competed in American Saddlebred competition, winning both a national champion and a reserve champion. I played field hockey from the time I was in 6th grade all the way through college, and as of 1992, I was the leading goal scorer for my university. My number one hobby is running. I run on a regular basis. I've run numerous marathons, including qualified for the Boston Marathon and run that race. I am part of the team that has won the Colorado Colfax Municipal Cup for the past 2 years here at the city, and we're very proud of that. My husband and I have very close ties to the city of Littleton. When we got married, we moved into a little place off of Gallup, and we have spent a lot of time eating at the restaurants, coming to the events, and it's the best place we feel in the state of Colorado to raise a family. What I love about working for the city of Littleton is the passion that both the citizens and the staff have for the future of Littleton. I feel like the work I do really makes a difference.
Hi, I'm Kelly Nardi. I'm the Director of Communications for the City of Littleton. I've worked here for 21 years. As the Director of Communications, I'm responsible for all communications with the public and with the media. I have a wonderful team of employees. I've got the greatest webmaster, the greatest public relations specialist, who's really a graphic designer, and a really great videographer who's making this video right now. We run the cable television channel 8. We do all the print publications that I think a lot of people are familiar with, like the Littleton Report, the Littleton Calendar, and Annual Report. In the last couple years, we've really gotten into social media as well. So the city has a Facebook account, and we also are tweeting. So we are really excited about those things because that's really how younger residents of the city like to, receive their communication, and that's been really popular. I'm constantly amazed at how many people are following us on Facebook. Some of the other projects I've worked on in my career that I'm most proud of. Worked really hard on the extension of light rail into the South Metro area. A lot of people don't realize that barely passed the RTD board on a 7-6 vote. So we did a lot of lobbying, a lot of letter writing, a lot of speech writing, and Littleton, I feel, was really instrumental in getting that extension to come out of Denver. The other project that I feel so good about every time I drive by is the courthouse. A lot of people also don't know that that courthouse building was very close to getting the wrecking ball. And I think the partnership between the city and the county working together to try and find a way to demolish the 1950s era building on the front and restore that 1906 courthouse and put it back into use as a courthouse was just a wonderful achievement. We had great support from the City Council and great support from the county commissioners, and that's something I'm really proud of, and I know that's going to be here for a long, long time. Previously, I worked for the city of Aurora after I graduated from college. I went to Colorado State University and earned my degree in journalism. I graduated from Smoky Hill High School in Aurora. I lettered in swimming. I played #1 doubles on the tennis team. I ran track, and I got really involved in the student newspaper. Oh, and I was a cheerleader too. I am married. Got married last year to my high school sweetheart. I have a son and a daughter, and he has 3 kids, so we're practically a Brady Bunch. We have a lot of teenagers right now. In our spare time, we really love to play golf. I'm not very good at it, but I think there's nothing better than a round of golf. In the winter, we really love to ski. My kids and I have been skiing our whole lives. We have a place up in Breckenridge that my parents own, so we spend as much time as we possibly can up in the mountains skiing. I really love to travel, not the airplane part of it, but I love it when we get there. I really enjoy swimming, scuba diving, snorkeling. We went to Jamaica last year on our honeymoon, and I had always wanted to swim with a dolphin and finally got the chance to do that. And I drove people crazy because that's all I could talk about. I want to do it again. Maybe I'll retire someday and try to work with dolphins. It was really a great experience. I also enjoy quilting. I'm not very good at it, but I really like it. It's really satisfying to me to see a project from start to finish, and I amaze myself that I actually made that. I don't ever let anybody look at it up close. They have to stand 3 feet away, but quilting is very enjoyable to me. What I love most about working for the city of Littleton is that people talk about a sense of community. We don't just have a sense of a community, we are a community. And I think other cities try to build that in their housing and in their commercial space, but we've already got it. We've already got what everyone looks towards.